Hello everybody and welcome to A Plague Tale, Innocence. Published by Focus Home Interactive and developed by Asobo Studio. A French studio that was up until this point mostly known for making handheld versions of Disney tie-in games. They made Toy Story 3 for the PSP, for example.
Wow, so to go from Disney tie-in games to this, one of the most popular indie games,
This is yes.
quite an achievement.
And they would later go on to co-develop Flight Simulator.
Yep. This is their own original IP, heavily inspired by Naughty Dog's The Last of Us. Think of it as Last of Us, but taking place in medieval Europe during the time of the Black Plague. And so those rats over there.
If I recall correctly, despite this being an indie title, this was one of those indie titles that got
Chapter 1.
Backing.
Chapter 1, The Rune Legacy. I'm playing the game on the PlayStation 5 because the PlayStation 5 version not only looks better and loads faster, but also makes fantastic use of the DualSense. Basically, if you bought the game on PS4, you get a free upgrade.
I will beat them, and I will watch them eat my dust as I forge ahead. But for that, I shall need a good
Oh my gosh, she sounds like she has the same accent as the mouse from The Legend of Titanic Goes On.
For this game, they actually did get French actors to do the voices, which is why they have those accents.
God, is that the accent that the mice in the animated Titanic movie were going for? And I mean the one with the party time rap number.
Well, the game's voice acting was all done in the UK.
So this game is on a lot of platforms. It's on Windows, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Amazon Luna even.
It's also on Switch via a cloud version.
Yeah. The lazy edition.
Anyway, okay, so this is our protagonist, Amisha de Rune, and both her and her father are having some fun because basically she's going to be taught how to hunt.
Yes, father.
Because remember, this was basically the 14th century, if I remember correctly. Do me a favor, when did the Black Plague took place? Just to remember exactly the exact century. But the point is, remember, this was back in the day where people didn't really have much of a choice but to hunt to get... Okay, thanks, Dips. Remember, back in those days, people didn't exactly have much choice in terms of food than just go to hunt. So,
fun fact, actually, Asobo also did Recore, or rather, they helped out in Recore.
Yeah, Recore had a lot of different studios collaborating in various because that game got the definitive edition that also got other stuff. It's a bit of a when we get to that game, I'll talk more about that.
They also were involved in The Crew 2 from Ubisoft.
Yeah,
another game that has a lot of interest.
It's an interesting time in recent years where we have two former two studios that were up until recently known for Disney tie-in games, and now Asobo is making this, and Avalanche Software is making Hogwarts Legacy. So it's an interesting trend of sorts of previous studios who were previously working on Disney tie-ins now making more elaborate games, basically.
It really makes me wonder, like, did this game truly qualify to be called an indie game? Because okay, like
it's more like a
Asobo were okay.
Its budget, it's more like a double 0.5A type of budget. It's not like on par with something like a Last of Us, but it's also definitely a higher budget indie than your typical indie. Definitely.
Yeah, I bring this up because
an indie is basically something that's not made by one of the major companies or their third parties.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, well, more often than not, when it comes.
Hold on, let me
indies,
explain this. Okay, so like all games of this kind, there's of course some third-person shooting mechanics, and since we live in the Middle Ages, we use a slingshot. Oh, right, not a slingshot, like a sling. Sorry, sling.
That looks like a bola. Well, minus the second bowl.
There you go. So basically, you don't instead of bullets, you use rocks.
We will call it a violent yo-yo.
It was a present from you.
Oh yes, I'd quite forgotten. Goodness, what's up with him?
Yes, pay attention to the headmaster from Waterloo Road.
But yeah. Like my co-commentators have pretty much hinted at, while this is technically an indie game in that it was featured in indie showcases, it was nominated for indie awards and whatnot.
Because it was made by an indie developer.
It's a very unorthodox form of indie game because more often than not, indie games do not often get to be this big without either a lot of funding or eventually some kind of backing from a
This was a passion.
studio.
This was a passion project for Asobo Studio. This was something that they've always wanted to do. What was basically their own, because this takes place in France and they're a French studio. So this is basically something that's they wanted to make their own country's equivalent of a Last of Us type game, basically.
And was it successful?
Well, it's getting a sequel, so I assume so.
Pretty much. And that sequel, if I recall correctly, that got featured at the Game Awards.
Yes. Well, this game is very well beloved. But trust me, this is a much better Last of Us than Last of Us Part 2.
I've been looking forward to seeing this.
All right.
Oh, a funny thing about the voice director, actually, Mark Healy. He's Barnum's voice from the late Ace Attorney crossing.
I just remembered when Mark Healy.
Familiar.
I guess, sure.
Yeah,
Which makes him also Edgeworth's voice actor in that game.
All right, so this is the game.
Lately, Mark Healy's been doing mainly stuff like voice directing. Like his more recent ones are like Bravely Default 2, among others.
I guess his specialty is directing games that take place in medieval times. Okay.
What, Hitman 2?
Well, okay, I guess. I said specialty. I didn't say it was the only thing he does. The point is, this is the game's way of teaching you stealth. Again, like your it's common in today's day and age with games. You use tall grass to hide from any possible animals or enemies.
So, we have a father and daughter bonding at the beginning of a game like this, huh? Alright, which one of you is up for the chopping block?
Well, that's the thing, Shiroi.
My guess is it's gonna be the father who dies.
That's the thing, Shiroi. Like, I will tell you. Well, it's not quite good. It's interesting. It's kind of what you expect, but at the same time not. If that makes any sense, you'll see.
Let me guess.
Okay.
One of them dies. We think they're dead, but then it turns out at the end of the game they're alive.
All right, let me explain that meter. Did you notice that when I was aiming at the board, there was a meter above him? His head. Basically, here's how the stealth works. When you're in an enemy's line of eyesight, that meter will start going up, and if it goes all the way up, that means the enemy saw you. So basically, keep an eye on that little meter to make to see if the enemy doesn't see you. In this case, the boar, basically. So basically, that's the game's way of allowing you to tell exactly if as long as you get out of the enemy's line of sight before the meter goes all the way up, you'll be fine.
I was thinking there.
Ooh. So yeah, Lion.
Watch out for any swamps of sadness.
So yeah, Amisha's pet dog, who helps her in her hunts, is called Lion, and apparently he smelled something. So let's see if we can find him.
The boar, I assume.
Well, no, not the boar. Apparently he smelled something else, but we don't know what it is yet.
I have to say, I'm impressed with Healy's range as a voice director, because the previous year he did the ever so similar Ni no Kuni 2.
Who was he in that?
No,
it's voice director, not an actual voice.
I thought he also voiced someone in that game as well.
I'll have a check. I don't think so.
It's
Could have been some like random NPCs.
No. Nah.
Come here.
apparently not. Oh shit!
The boar.
Oh.
Oh.
Leon couldn't have done that.
What the fuck happened to this boar?
I think we should go back.
I think you have a demon dog.
That's the problem. No, that's the problem, Jovo. The lion is still somewhere in here. We can't really leave him behind, can we?
Oh god, Ryan's the next victim.
Oh,
That or
they killed
he
the dog.
is incredibly frightened. Oh.
Oh, shit.
He looks...
What the fuck?
Who did this?
Wow, interesting having a dog being.
This is the game. This is the game.
And he literally is just getting eaten alive.
This is the game's way of introducing what will be the primary threat of this game. Although not showing it quite yet, just to keep the suspense up. Welcome to A Plague Tale: Innocence, everybody.
So let me guess. Neither of them die from this, but the dad dies of old age, and then the daughter grows up.
Well, Jova, you'll notice that. I didn't flat out deny Shiro's guess.
Also, he could actually die, but maybe not from the plague.
Oh, well, let's see.
Looking after
So yeah, this is the Darun estate.
So yeah. Quite exciting, a dead dog already.
Well, remember, Jova, consider this was medieval Europe during the times of the Black Plague. If you ever looked anything about the Black Plague, these were not happy times in Europe.
Yeah, we can't keep the dogs alive just because it's the plague.
Ironically, if anything, it was the cats that they were killing at first. The cats were causing the plague.
I don't know my numbers. Like, I don't know. I don't have the number. I don't know the numbers, exact numbers off the top of my head. But like a huge chunk of Europe's population got killed because of the Black Plague.
Oh, trust me, I am well aware of the effects of the bubonic plague or Black Plague, as it's famously known as. Like, no, a lot of people really did die.
So yeah, trust me. Like, the tone is perfectly justified because these were not happy times in Europe. They were not.
Still, though, same about the dog. Again, it was most of the cats that people were killing because they thought that they were causing the plague at first.
Horsey. Okay.
Why do I get the feeling horses will come in handy later to escape a most terrifying death?
Oh, Lady Amicia, you're back.
Theo, there's an emergency. Get the others and go and see my father as soon as you can, alright?
Alright, so, just like the last... hold on, actually, I don't think I get it quite yet.
Behind the stables.
I think it's now. Okay, so just like...
There's an emergency!
So yeah, taking another cue from Naughty Dog's games, there's collectibles you can get that help flesh out the world a bit more. Like, for example, you can press the touchpad to get some more information in a bit, but I'm gonna get it in a bit. Here we are. A terracotta whistle given to Amicia by her father for the first hunt, used by our distant ancestors as instruments and toys. Whistles allowed people to synchronize their groups during hunts, but also armies in times of war. That is correct, yes. Mm-hmm. So again, just like in Naughty Dog's games, you have these collectibles that add a little extra info for world building purposes.
Yes, indeed.
Again, if you've played Uncharted or Last of Us, you know exactly. Again, you'll feel right at home. It's exactly the same kind of game because the developers never hid this fact. They claim they have flat out said that one of their primary inspirations was The Last of Us Part 1. So, oh, hey, lady. All right, so okay, here's a cool thing that we can do. We can go to the estate's chapel and offer a prayer for Lion. This is actually optional. We don't have to do this, but it's a cool detail that I thought I would show.
Nice little extra detail.
Exactly. So let's offer a moment of prayer for Lion.
So tell me, Pedro, where's the NPC farmhand who's just picking up a bag of hay and throwing it away only to pick it up again?
Don't worry, Jova. There will be no moments like that.
My darling dog.
Does praying for the dead dog get you an achievement?
No.
Oh.
Missed opportunity.
I don't.
They make you sad for
Well, actually, okay. It's been a while since I checked the trophies. Dwebs, could you check the trophies of this game for me? Well, actually, never mind. That will spoil you on the plot. I'll check myself. Keep going, guys.
But yeah, no, the environments here definitely seem nice and lush here. While it is the Black Plague, one thing to remember is that not everything is always going to look black, dark, and gray, so we still do have our colorful environments.
Countryside.
Is this available on Xbox?
Yes, it's part of it's on Game Pass. You can get it there.
I think it's on most platforms.
And Microsoft bought both the marketing rights for the sequel as well as the right to put it on Game Pass Day One.
Well, what I mean is it on Series? Is it on the Sex?
Yes. The sex version of the game runs at 60 FPS.
Okay.
A sex version of the
The version
game.
the version I'm playing is the PS5, which console-wise is the one I recommend because trust me, the game does fantastic use of the DualSense.
Wow, the sex version of the plague-based game.
Basically,
my.
okay, I can say this because we all know what's gonna happen later. When you're in a place that's full of rats, the controller's haptics will vibrate according to the rat's movements.
I hate that. No.
Well, you can turn it off if you want to, Shirai. Remember, you can turn it off if you want to. So.
What's wrong, Shirai? They're just cute little adorable rats that'll gobble you up in about a half a sec.
I've seen cute, adorable rats. Like, I have 2 friends with pet rats. The rats we're talking about here are not cute.
You can get on Game Pass if you want to, but allow me, as a fan of this game, allow me. If you can afford it, please try and support the game by actually purchasing on PlayStation, because I do believe that it's definitely worth your money.
Don't people who put their games on Game Pass get a cut anyway?
Well, as far as I'm aware, maybe I'm wrong. An actual individual sale gives more money to the developer, I think.
You are to stay here with your brother.
As I'm aware, at least.
What's that sound?
It would, but like, since Game Pass is the equivalent of streaming for music, they would get a little bit of money from it. No, nowhere near as much, though.
All right. Basically, this is Misha's mom, and Misha has a younger brother called Hugo, who's like 5, and mom always keeps him, locked down on his room, and Amisha doesn't quite know this yet. Why? And apparently her mom is busy studying something that we don't quite know yet too. So apparently, Amisha clearly has a more straightforward relationship with her dad than she has with the mom. Apparently.
It turns out her mom's the main villain controlling the rats.
I can tell you that that's not the case, at least.
But what a twist that would be.
But the kid is very much conceal it, don't feel it right now.
4 years? 5?
Yep.
It's locked.
That being said, he's still our brother, so we can't at least say hi to him. So let's say hi to Hugo.
Yeah.
Where is he? Hugo?
Where are you, Hugo? Oh. Everything is locked in this house. Hugo? Oh, there you are.
It's me. Your sister? Amicia? Hello.
Hi.
We haven't seen each other much. Mummy will be back soon.
As long as she doesn't die.
Ow.
Did he talk? No, Lord Nicholas. He killed 2 of our men.
Lord Nicholas.
What the heck?
The Inquisition.
I won't ask again. Where is your
What? Okay, apparently they're here for Hugo for some reason.
Yes, pay attention to Edward.
Shit!
Oh.
Dead.
Oh, so I was right. He does die, just not from the plague.
Yeah, he died because he gets the dad gets killed by the British Inquisition.
Sure, you and me both called it as soon as we saw them frolicking together, having fun as
So so nobody expects the British Inquisition.
So,
let me explain this. This is where we also get introduced to one of the primary gameplay mechanics of the game, Hugo. Basically, Amicia has to protect Hugo, and it also, unlike with The Last of Us, it's much more involved. You have to press down to call Hugo to you so that you can walk with him, or either like this, or with your hands holding. Because Hugo will get scared if you leave him on his own. So you have to try your best to take care of Hugo while, getting out of here because the Inquisition is after him.
Yeah, about Mommy coming back soon, I get the feeling Mommy's about to come down with a case of death, too.
Well, let's see. So yeah, for whatever reason, the Inquisition really wants Hugo.
I was gonna say, Lord Nicholas, the guy who just killed the father, he's voiced by the director, Mark Healy. So read into that what you will.
All right.
She'll know.
Okay, so right now our plan is to try to find Mom to see if she can explain to us what the fuck is going on.
You know, it's fitting because Barnum was also British, so there you go.
Oh, crap.
Pay no mind to us, behind
It's okay,
you.
Hugo. It's just a flesh wound.
Notice how
Yeah.
notice how Amisha covered his eyes with her body.
That man's just sleeping, Hugo.
We have to.
With an arrow in his stomach.
Yes. He will be fine.
This is your last chance. Tell us what you know about your mistress's research.
Research.
Huh.
I
What
wonder.
an interesting day this has been. First, bloodthirsty rats, and now all this. Could
I like
they
the
all
music.
be
Yeah,
connected?
yeah. The music is also really good. Yeah. Oh, shit. Well, we're fucked.
Where do you think you're going?
Oh,
No, you're fucked.
thanks, mommy. Mom, you got some splaining to do.
Alright. The music's done by Olivia De Rivera, who did the music for Life is Strange. Oh, well, I think so anyway. And Remember Me.
Oh, okay. So basically, she's a French composer who does French games.
Well, he, and also Streets of Rage 4.
Ah, okay.
Oh. Yeah, we should probably go.
You should also probably explain.
Yeah.
Please.
Take your sister's hand. I'll go first, and you just have to follow me, all right? We have to cross the gardens. Amicia, hold your brother's hand and follow me in silence.
Okay, yeah, like you said, you can press down on the D-pad to hold Hugo's hand. You can also press down again to let go of him if you need, for whatever reason, to do something that requires both of your hands, like shooting your sling. So a big part of the game is taking care of Hugo and making sure he doesn't get scared, because if he's left alone too long, he will get scared.
Says he watched
He's
And
not
yes,
he's
no.
not
Well, he's
as
like-
old as Ellie was, so
well,
he
he's-
can't really handle himself.
He's like 5.
Let me
Yeah.
guess. The more scared he gets, the more possible chance he has of yelling out. And when that happens, yeah, you're screwed.
Go to hell. Oh yeah? You first. Listen, have a little think, and I'll come back later. And you, don't die without talking to me first.
But don't stab me before asking me to talk to you.
Alright, die. Right, where is the
Hold on.
information?
You also another cool thing. Notice on the bottom left screen how it shows an hourglass there. See, again, every time you climb while holding Hugo's hand, Misha will always help Hugo climb first. So your animations always change depending on whether or not you're holding Hugo's hand.
If I can hit the helmets in the grate over there, your sling will give us away. I can throw
Yeah.
it instead.
Alright, so again, much like in the plenty of stealth games, let's use the environment to distract the guard. There we are.
Right, let's go.
Wow, so it's turned into a more linear Hitman.
To be fair, it is still an indie game, so I won't be too surprised if they don't give us a ton of options on how to progress.
No, especially considering how this was the first one. I mean, the sequel apparently is going to expand upon things further, so maybe we'll get some more wider environments and maybe more elaborate gameplay set pieces, who knows. But for this first game, though, obviously they couldn't do that much, considering this
We'll
is
give
still a
them
new
credit.
unproven IP. So
I will give them credit. The way that they do have a lot of people move around genuinely in time with the gameplay at the start does make it feel like a very well, good, and playable cutscene. In the sense that it does still feel like you're playing it, mind you. But, it feels like everything flows together well. Like exactly the motions of which people go through.
oh no,
As opposed...
Sorry, go on. Thought you were done.
As opposed to it just saying like, oh, well, of course they don't go this way because then we'd obviously be caught or whatnot.
Oh no, definitely. Trust me. Like the developers did the best they could with what they got because they did some fantastic coding with specific mechanics, and I will talk about that when we get to the rats.
All right.
Bless you, Dibs.
Thank you.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report. How about a pot?
Report this.
Nothing to report.
Come on, go check it. There we go.
Listen, I know what you poor people are like. Always got a sneaky coin hidden somewhere.
Wow, you're a dick.
You know, it's weird. Some of this British Inquisition sounds more French, though, weirdly enough.
Hold on.
The hole in the wall.
Nothing to report.
Yeah. Okay, so this is again another thing to introduce. Sometimes you'll need Hugo's help. The door is locked, there's this hole on the other end, but none of us can get through, but Hugo can since he's small. So we can let him go, like I just did, and we can... hold on. Okay, so there you go, see? I can press down again. Tell him to say. So Hugo can crawl in tight spaces. You can press up on the D-pad to order him to go and check something. So there you go.
Well done. There are people.
Yep.
Good one, Hugo.
Come on.
And now...
I gotta say, Logan Hannon, who voices Hugo, he's had a literal half and half career at this point. He's had 2 roles credited to him on BTVA. This and Custard from Earwig and the Witch.
Oh, wow, that is a half an actor. Granted, I guess that's the only 2 things he's done, so...
At least according to behind the voice actor.
Yeah, Hugo is actually voiced by
Is his
by a
actor
kid.
his actor an actual kid?
Yes.
Like-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll see this on the extra part. So you can look
So
forward
he's
to that.
still got a ways to go, at least.
Soon. You have to be quiet. Right. I'll wait for you. It's okay, Hugo. Yes.
So there you go. When you are
No, my head.
The heck?
What is wrong with him? An attack. Listen to my voice, Hugo. You know how this goes. Listen to me.
Hmm?
Think of the cloud that
What's going on? It seems like it's something that's affecting only him, though.
maybe it has something to do with why the Inquisition wants him.
Give him a little time.
Maybe he's in sync with the rats?
Let's continue. Courage, my darling.
Yeah, we kind of need to go. Sorry.
Follow me.
I would say no one expects the British Inquisition, but I'm pretty sure everyone.
I already made that
British
joke.
Inquisition.
I already made that joke. So,
And like I said, oddly enough, some of the British Inquisition sound pretty French. I don't know if that's like a story plot point, or if that's just about if they got who they could to act this, and then some just didn't really bother with the British accents.
Risky with Hugo.
well, if I remember correctly, most of the actors in this game are French themselves, so it probably has something to do with that. Let me.
They could also be outliers potentially.
Alive, then
Like,
we have Roses, Herbalist,
You know,
they're
if you
French,
were
but
me.
they're siding with the British.
Feeding the
Cause.
Hungry. Savior.
That's what I would do if I were the one in charge of the game.
Apparently
Have
no,
it played
Shiroi. Apparently there is no trophy / achievement for praying for Lion.
Aww.
Phone.
Lion sacrifice was for nothing.
Well, at least this game, I guess, knew how to kill a dog right-ish. You know?
Okay. Well, here's the thing. They killed Lion specifically to foreshadow the rats and to establish the dark tone that the game has, basically.
Oh yeah. I'm also I was vaguely comparing this to how you were basically forced to kill animals in Last of Us Part 2 and then made to feel shit about it,
Pretty much, yeah.
even though you were literally made to do it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It doesn't feel like needless emotional manipulation because it
Out of here.
is good setup for the danger that rats will pose in this game.
And it makes
So-
sense. It makes sense. It's
So basically, as long as you avoid pulling it after Earth, you're good.
Okay, after
I
Earth is
haven't seen that, but I guess the answer is yes.
let me put it like this. After Earth is kind of its own special wheelhouse in the animal manipulation thing. Basically, Shiroi, there's this animal who you're led to believe is bad, but then turns out to treat our protagonist just like a child of her own, despite her own kids being dead, and she dies as a result.
Indeed.
So it's the opposite of that movie we watched before where the husky was.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Excuse. I'm sorry. For some reason, I was under the. I was remembering it. It's the French Inquisition. For some reason,
okay.
for some reason, I was under the impression it was something else. Never mind.
That explains.
I must be
more
thinking of something
why
else.
Most of them have French accents. The only one with a British accent is the one voiced by Mark Healy.
Honestly, considering the history of Britain, I'm not surprised that you thought they were British.
Well, I think I get it now, Shiro. It's because of It's because of another work of fiction that I've been watching.
Let me guess. Hugo can control the rats, and the French Inquisition want to use that so they can use it to beat the British or something.
Oh crap! Lord Nicholas has come to us.
Hurry now. Follow the river. It will lead you to Laurentius. Mother, no!
Oh.
Oh.
I think she's dead.
And now you know why the game is called A Plague Tale: Innocence, because innocence is the first thing to go in this game.
And if you were any further nearer the door, you'd have been dead too.
Okay, so now we have to run because the Inquisition is after us.
She'll catch up with us. Run as fast as you can.
So I'm guessing either they want to use his power or they're trying to burn him for witchcraft or something because of the rats.
They can both be true.
They're right behind us.
Anyway, yes, that's why the game is called, it has a subtitle of Innocence, because, well, these kids don't really have any at this point. Basically, because remember, Hugo is young, but Amisha's not exactly a grown-up. Amisha's only 14, so Amisha's not exactly an adult either. So,
you know, Dark Ages by 14, you're pretty much an adult.
I guess, yeah.
That's how a lot of people.
Oh, but remember, Jova, as we just saw, the Rune family was reasonably comfortable in terms of lifestyle. They weren't like, you know, peasants or anything. They actually had their own estate and everything and servants. So she's probably used to a comfortable life.
Well, I mean, at least she was learning how to hunt and all that, so I guess she wasn't completely spoiled. But
And that was
What are the red dots moving around the screen, by the way?
chapter 1. Now chapter 2, the strangers.
Flame lights.
I'm sorry, Shiri, could you repeat that?
What were the red dots moving around the edge of the screen?
Oh, that. Enemies, basically, Shiri. Every time an enemy sees you, there's a red dot above that enemy to warn the player that enemy has seen you.
Oh, so like Metal Gear.
Kinda, yeah.
Wow, it's been a bit of a rough day.
And you'll remember that Hugo didn't see any of that crap, so he doesn't know what happened. So we're gonna have to tell him at some point.
I think he has a good idea based off of how he's laying over like that.
Thought I fell in the water.
Yeah, about that, Hugo.
Mummy has more
Let's not mention
pressing matters.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, it goes back to the theme of loss of innocence. Now Amisha is forced to grow up and become an adult for Hugo's sake, basically.
Okay. To be fair, with it being the Dark Ages, part of me just wonder if she kind of had already grown up since she was already in the bout of trying to get food for that. Mind you, she still does have to adapt to a life without her parents, so there is still that form of growing up to do that she has, so yeah. I'll still
While
give
also
her that
parenting a child she's apparently barely got to see.
Yeah, exactly, because her mom always kept Hugo holed up in that room for reasons that we don't know yet.
Oh boy, I sure hope that there's a tragic backstory involved in this all.
Well, we'll see. Tune in next time for the next part, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.